Welcome to our podcast. This is Brother Benson. Today, I want to share about the obstacles that President William Ruto might face towards his 2027 election bid. This is informed by how the political landscape is changing and is becoming more slippery for him. Number one is about chest thumping by Ruto allies like Hon Sudi, Kamket, and Kimani Ichung'wa. From few days ago, we've had pronouncement that has been made by these legislatures, but I think their pronouncement do not do good to President William Ruto, especially if he's eyeing for the second term. And the way they speak with authority and finality, it tells the people um, that they have already won the second term. Before we go, let me just play for you only one skit by Kamket.
Alikuwa anapanga kupindua serikali. Sasa hiyo group, wacha niwaambie, we have no time for you. Kenyans have no time for you. Na rais, usiogope. Hiyo watu wakileta ya kisirani, kamata. Kwani iko nini? Watafanya nini? Kenya haiwezi kuendeshwa na ukorofi. Lazima Kenya iendeshwe na ukweli. Sio kwanza kutuambia hati yako sijui tunafanya namna gani na wewe unaambia rais nini? Hati sijui kuna abduction. Na wewe ndio uliabduct watu. There are more than 100 people who are killed in Tiati. Extrajudicial killings that were led by that vampire. That guy was elected on the blood of human beings. Alikuwa anatangaza operation ya bure. How come maneno yao haikufaulu? How come sahi amani iko pande hii? How come? It is because the current administration has put in the right measures. The right measures. So, Your Excellency, mimi acha nikwambie, wewe watu waache kiburi. Wewe ni rais wa Kenya uliyechaguliwa kamili. Na hakuna rais nusu-nusu. Kalia hiyo kiti vizuri. Second term utaingia. Second term utaingia rais kama stima. Andolende kwa nani? Lenye nyoni. Na wakicheza rais, unajua mimi natoka kaunti ya 24. Kaunti ya Baringo sisi ndio tunajua mambo ya 24 years. Sisi ndio tunajua kwa manufacture rais akae 24. So wakicheza hata tunasambia wewe rais endelea kidogo. Kwani iko nini? Mungu awabariki, asante sana.
Thank you so much. That is Kamket talking to congregation, and those are his remarks that he's coming from a county that knows how to manufacture presidency for 24 years. So if you're very keen in politics, or if you are somebody who knows about the history, what he's referring to is about the years that Moi ruled Kenya, because Moi ruled Kenya for 24 years. So he says that wakicheza, so I don't know who hao wakicheza hao ni wakina nani, lakini inamaanisha kuwa kama watu wakicheza inamaanisha Ruto might become lifetime president from his sediment. So that is what I'm talking about. They're forgetting that in Kenya is a country that is run by the rule of law, and they're talking about the abduction, the issue of abduction, which has been part of the conversation in the country, saying that some people have managed the abduction. So, so that kind of chest thumping that they have is not doing good to president. They might speak before the president to please the president and tell the president that they are doing good. But in the long run, it will not be a good deal for president. And if you listen the same day, Oscar Sudi also spoke, and he also made similar remarks, and whereby he said, I quote, that he is so much disappointed in the president because the president, when was giving out or when I was assigning Murkomen for the interior docket, yeah, he thought was going to be him. Then he said, if you could have appointed me in that docket in 3 days, I could have dealt with those young men who are posting those images. So it tells you the kind of just thumping that is coming from them. But one thing they forget, the power is usually seasonal. You might even have him for 24 years, but eventually you will leave. Moi had it for 24 years, but what happened? The time is going to come that you will have to leave that power. So that is something that they are forgetting. And also, talking about Kimani Chungwa too, is one of the president allies too, who is also just stamping and speaking in public, especially what happened in Bungoma. You know, Kimani might think that he's doing president favor or he wants to earn president favor. But in the meantime, in the long run, I don't think even president will have him on his side. Yeah. Because remember, in Western Kenya, we have Natembea, the governor for Trans Nzoia. And Natembea, with his Tawe slogan, is kind of resonating with the majority of youths. And you are coming in another territory, different constituents, and coming and attack Natembea before the president, just to maybe to please the president, so that to tell the president you're working hard, you know. But remember, you're not running for presidency. Yeah. President William Ruto is eyeing for the second term. And you come and attack this guy who has the majority of following. So, which means for you, it doesn't cost you so much, but for president, it will cost the president in the long run. So, the remarks or just thumping that are being seen, especially on president allies, they're not doing good to president, but it's creating more obstacle to the president. That is one point that I think is will be very, very, very much difficult for president to win second term if the allies do not change the tune on how they talk in public. That is one. The second one is about frequent public appearance by the president. I think right now the president should start to manage how he's when should he appear in public and when not to. Because every time, each and every time president appears in public, what he does, he make promises. And what happens? Some of those promises are not being fulfilled. Yeah. President has even changed the narrative that he's using right now in his public appearance. I don't know whether you've realized. President now talks about the unity and he tells the people, that's why I've decided to bring people together so that you can unite as a country. But as people unite, you know, there are services that people need. Yeah, people need employment. Yeah, people need services from the government, especially when you go to the hospital. Are you going to get medication? When you go to the hospital, will you get the required services? When you go to school, will you get those services that should be provided by the government? So that one is making it more difficult for president because anytime he appears in public, he will make a promise. and immediately he makes a promise, the public will pick it, and the public will even start to investigate and bring them back on the social media. And that is not working for president, is working against him. And that's why I think the president, with the critics that is coming, yeah, presidents, the people who criticize the president, they tend to have problem with this administration. So the best thing that president can do for himself so that he can work on his public appearance. One, regulate your public appearance like other presidents have done. Yeah. When you compare the administrations, especially previous administration President Uhuru Kenyatta was not so much into public eyes. He could appear on few occasions. And I remember there was a time people were asking, where is President Uhuru Kenyatta? And people even say maybe watu wa China wametuletea president uh, mpya wenye hatujui si ule tulikuwa tunamjua. Unaona? So that being managing or being out of public for quite some times, it also will help him to strategize, uh, come up with a strategy on how you're going to handle issues. It will also give you time now, be on the behind scene and make sure that you deliver for the people. That one will, if you manage that, it will be okay for you. But if president continues to be on public each and every time, going for these prayer meetings, launching the projects, having these rallies, I tell you, it's going to work for his disadvantage. So he should manage on public appearance. If he does that, it will be okay with him. If he doesn't, it will become very big obstacle towards his 2027 or towards his second term. Another big reason that I feel is going to be very obstacle is the division within ODM party over broad-based government. Just to be very sincere, if you compare how the BBI was embraced in ODM and its base and the broad-based government, there is a clear indication that the majority of ODM fans or ODM fan base and even some leaders do not support the broad-based government. And in particular, Babu Owino. You know, Babu Owino has come out as one of the legislature from ODM who will criticize the government in public. Yeah. We have Edwin Sifuna too. Yeah. But talking about Babu Owino and we looking it in terms of Luo Nyanza, because that's where uh, President Ruto is so much banking on. You know, when you look at the history of voting pattern in Luo, the turnout in voting, especially in Luo Nyanza, with Baba being in the ballot, has never been 100%. Baba has always have had a lower voter turnout from major Luo counties. And remember, the Luo nation usually loves Baba, and Baba usually is the motivator towards voting. But still, the turnout has always not been good. So take a situation whereby Baba is not in the ballot. How is turnout going to be? Secondly, there is the influence of Babu Owino. Yeah, Babu Owino factor. How will it geared or how will it affect the voting? Because last week, when there was Luo Cultural Festival in Siaya, towards the tail end, uh, Babu Owino went to attend that festival. I can assure you, the reception that Babu Owino got was organic. And if you watch that video, you will see that the Babu connects very well with the people. So that one will be great obstacle to President William Samoei Ruto, because you cannot bank on the votes of the Luo nation based on those two. Secondly, there even in the Luo nation again, there are those leaders who do not want to come out publicly, but they share the vision of Babu Owino. Yeah, if you're very keen, yeah, they share the vision of Babu Owino. So that one will be a big obstacle for President William Ruto towards 2027. I don't think that he will inherit it 100%. Apart from will not inherit it 100%, the voting pattern, very important and very crucial. And that one also will be in Western Kenya too, because now we are having emergence of Natembea, we are having emergence of Peter Salasia, and I know some other young people, Caleb Amisi too, is over there. So especially the Nyanza and the Western region is kind of like very tricky, especially when it comes to ODM. That is, president should check about that. The last but not least is about the Rigathi Gachagua factor. You know, ever since Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, we have witnessed a new Rigathi Gachagua. Yeah, we have witnessed a Rigathi Gachagua who is taking a center stage for opposition, who knows where and when to call the shots. You know, so by that, president has focused more on how to neutralize Rigathi Gachagua, and that is utilizing his time. Yeah. So he has even went ahead to acquire or to procure the services of Maina Njenga, the ex-Mungiki leader, just because of the presence of Rigathi Gachagua. Because Rigathi Gachagua has managed to convince Mount Kenya and has united them. He has made his impeachment to be a Mount Kenya issue. It's not his personal. That's why he says, no, they should not ask me for forgiveness. You should ask the people who elected me. Yeah. So those three, to me, I feel they are a great obstacle to the president, and he should find a way of how to work on them. Yeah. The chest thumping that we are seeing from allies, that is one. We have the frequent public appearance where the president sometimes makes the promises, yet those promises are not being fulfilled. You know, that is two. The Gashagwa factor and the division, party divisions, especially in ODM, um, especially when it comes to broad-based government. They're not there 100%. There are only few who are supporting, and there are only other few, I mean, who are not supporting, but they are quiet. Thank you so much. And if you're new here, kindly support this video and be a member by subscription. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.